All right, everybody, I've been promoted back into a chair seat now, which means, of course, we're going to be going into the games between Curse Academy and CompLexity Gaming. Optimus Tom and Elements, as you saw on your screen, going to be bringing you all the action here. And, well, we've already taken a look at what the series score was, where CompLexity is up 4-1 over here, but Curse Academy, they got the stuff in them to close this one out with 2 straight victories, I think.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about them just a little bit here. We have Curse Academy. First up, we got I Will Dominate. Generally the leader of the team. He's going to be one making the calls, making the shots, kind of ordering these guys around. Next up, we got Swain Gretzky. He's going to be playing, you know, your blaster-type champions we saw. Actually, we did see him kind of switch it up a little bit, and he's taken on the Gaslight Joker. He went more of like a bruiser role after that. So, I mean, these guys are also dabbling. You know, they're mixing it up because this game is different than other MOBAs, too. You know, just because one, you know, particular class is like that doesn't mean, you know, you're going to have to, you know, always play the same thing. But now, next up, we're probably going to have on the screen here, we got
CompLexity. We got CompLexity coming up here. Everybody knows these guys. Look at these happy, smiling faces here. We got Prowley, of course. He's been picking up more of an assassin kind of role. Trooper's still that marksman, the heavy carry kind of position. MIA picking up this enforcer role, but we've also seen him play that standard kind of support we know and love him for. Nick Wu's been playing anything that's related to the Joker, and that's pretty much it. And then Lotta Mortis, well, he's been that big bruiser, things like Wonder Woman. Seen him play some Doomsday, although the other day we did see him play a little bit of a different style at Wonder Woman, and unfortunately, well, you specifically felt the wrath of that one.
Yeah, I didn't fare too well.
You know I had to bring it up.
Yeah, he like focused me like through. I'm like, I'm learning, and he just like charges me and just like executes me in the back line. I'm like, fine, I won't have fun.
No, but I know these guys are definitely going to have a lot of fun. They've taken a lot of different characters onto Gotham Heights, but specifically, they've been trying out some of these different characters we haven't seen all too much of. Trooper specifically, I know for a fact he's going to be taking Poison Ivy into this game. Was he asleep there? He was definitely asleep there. I don't know, but you really can't sleep on a support like Poison Ivy. Even though she's going to have a lot of those abilities that help her team out, she has some deceptive amounts of damage. We've seen her, of course, getting some of those sniper shots off with her Root Strike. Very, very powerful character. Now, normally you would think of her, oh, the standard kind of support because her Healthy Glow passive creates that nice little meadow to heal her allies up, but a lot of her skills are devastating amounts of damage. This Root Strike, like we said, being able to snipe people and disable them, very, very powerful asset to have on a character that's going to be in that support role. Blow Kiss, very, very awesome ability. Not only is it going to be able to shut down those attack damage based characters with a blind, but it deals a straight damage nuke. Her Thorn Shield, of course, going to counteract any of those assassin types very, very effectively, and her Deadly Flora makes it almost impossible to take those capture points from, as it's a heal for allies and damage over time for her enemies.
Yep, and then next up we're probably going to have Prowley on Flash coming up here, and that's who he's going to play. Look at him. He's ready. He's ready for playing Flash right now. He's in the zone. Trooper was just as in the zone as he is. But Flash is going to be your assassin-type character, or champion, rather. You know, he's going to be dashing around the map and that kind of stuff. He's really, you know, kind of a strange character because he is a melee assassin that doesn't really have, you know, kind of kits that other assassins do. But he does have a Speed Force, bonus power, damage as movement speed increases. So the faster you go, the more damage you deal. Next up, you have Flash Attack. He rushes to target location, dealing damage to enemies as he passes through them. So he's going to use this. He can use this as an escape, as a gap closer. Can really do anything with it. Then F equals MA, passive bonus attack attack speed, active for bonus damage to all attacks. So basically, again, more damage. Really good. Great for that. Hyper Vibration. He's going to vibrate through enemies, passing through them, and he's going to deal damage and actually steal their movement speed. And again, like we saw before, more movement speed equals more damage. So that's really great for him to use. Next, finally, we have Speed Storm. This is going to be his ultimate. He makes himself invulnerable, spins around, and knocking all his enemies down if they stay in it for the whole duration.
Well, we know we're going to have a support and an assassin combination coming out from the side of CompLexity Gaming, but what has Curse Academy got cooked up their sleeve? Why don't we take a look at Dominate here? Now, when other MOBAs, you said you've known him as more of that kind of presence all over the map, being very immobile, being able to call shots, but in Infinite Crisis, he's taken up more of a blaster role on characters such as the Green Lantern. We can see here, the Green Lantern, he's that blaster type. He's going to be in the back, and he has huge amounts of damage if you land a combination of his skills, and he also has a kit that's able to chase or kite away from those characters that could get at his very, very fragile amounts of HP. You can see here his passive is Indomitable Will. It's increasing his power damage. The more he winds up hitting something, that's going to affect all of his skills. His slam, dropping an anvil, dropping a save, whatever it may be from his powering on top of his enemies' heads, dealing some direct damage there. Constrict is going to slow them down. It gets a reduced cooldown when other skills hit, so that's going to be extremely important to combo with, like, this missile barrage here. 3 missiles come out of the power ring, you get to shoot them all in a skill shot, and then, of course, for a flashy ending, you could drop the pain plane.
Exactly. We coined that a little bit yesterday with that, and I think that's a really good saying to say. But next up, we're actually going to have Swing Gretzky playing Gaslight Joker.
Yeah, and this is another one of those big, beefy kind of types that we've seen people be picking up more and more as Infinite Crisis has gone on. Normally you would think of him as a straight big tank, but he deals a deceptive amount of damage.
Yeah, just because he's a bruiser class character does not mean he's, not going to do any damage. But he does have blood money. He's going to regenerate health over time whenever you pick up credits. So if you last hit a drone or you pick it up, you're going to get HP back. And you have Speed Cleaver. Next auto attack deals bonus attack damage and damage scaling off your max HP. So basically, the more HP you have, the more damage this is going to do. So you can just be more tanky and deal more damage. Next up, you have Shower of Filth. He's going to throw the ham. It's going to explode into this big kind of AoE, and it's going to start slowing them, and you're going to get enemies receive a filthy debuff. And they're going to talk about that right after. Ham Snack, skill shield from your, or rather, blocks the skill from you, and it's kind of like a big spell shield for you. It's really good, and you also gain a little bit of resilience, which is going to stop people from slowing you down and stuff like that. Finally, we have Rat Swarm, and a horde of rats is going to surround Joker, dealing AoE damage to anybody's caught in it. But if they have that filthy debuff on you, you're going to take 50% increased damage. So if you land the ham, you're going to do the deeps.
That's very true. So we have all these teams all set up in the lobby. We're going to be jumping into the game in just a little bit. If you guys are just tuning in, this is your first time watching Infinite Crisis, so first off, hello there. Where have you been? Because you have an awesome 3 days at E3 so far. And we, of course, have a bunch of other little nuances in the game that aren't necessarily been talked about all too much. We have the stolen powers, of course. We have all the other characters going to be supporting in this cast. There's just been so many different things that we've been able to talk about this weekend. It's really hard to recap in just a couple sentences. You guys are definitely going to have to watch the pros pretty much do the talking for us here.
Yeah, pretty much. And you can see everybody locking their champs in here. We do have Probably on the Flash, as we talked about. We have MIA playing Shazam here. We do have Ladder Mortis on that Wonder Woman, as we talked about, as he crushed me. And we do have him using the same strategy as that bend space-time. Target to an allied turret or control point. And this is exactly what they do. They like to rush the top capture point, and they'll rush in. He's going to do as much damage as he possibly can just before he's about to die, because Wonder Woman's so wonderfully tanky. And he's just going to back up, teleport right back to base, and teleport right back in, almost acting as like a 4v5.
Well, and what we do have here is, now we've talked about some of the different character types. You've seen the Marksman in Gaslight Batman. You've seen the support in Poison Ivy, the Bruiser kind of class from Gaslight Joker. We also have that Enforcer type class, which is going to do a little bit less damage, but they're going to take so much more. Wonder Woman and Shazam from the side of CompLexity are those two types of characters, so they have a ridiculous front line to really just set up Prowly and Nick Wu to run in there and wind up getting the damage down. Whereas on the flip side for Curse Academy, they're running pretty much standard stuff. They have a single Bruiser, a single Enforcer, a Blaster, an Assassin, and a Marksman to make a very well-rounded composition.
Yeah, it seems like both of these teams, as we've seen them play, are progressing. Even their blended matches with fans and stuff like that, they're also learning about this game. So as we see, their champion picks have been changing throughout kind of the course. I mean, we've seen Probably pick up a few different lanes and just do incredibly well on them. And I'm really excited to see what they can do.
Well, we do have Altec and Prowly both on the Flash, speeding up towards that point as quickly as possible. Prowly stops off to be the one to capture point number 5. Because being the Flash, he's going to be able to get around the map a lot quicker than anybody else. Meanwhile, it looks like Curse Academy is going to be the first one to reach point number 1. They're going to be in a 3v3 situation, soon to be a 4v3, as Prowly's going to come in from the bottom here. And already the damage going down into Atomic, and Trooper does wind up getting that root strike off, knocks him up into the air. Atomic in a bad space. 2 invulnerabilities have been popped already. Prowly winds up popping those hyper vibrations, trying to slow people down, and actually that's going to be Trooper there getting the kill onto Atomic and on that Shazam with the first blood right there.
Yeah, and this is something we've always seen. CompLexity's been, just amazing at controlling this top capture point. They do have this strategy for it. This is their plan to always take it, and they really, truly execute it every single time.
Meanwhile, on this bottom side of the map, we have Nick Wu and Gaslight Joker, the big bruiser guy, going up against one bad Brad on that mark, and we see the ham winds up landing. Look at the damage early on that Nick Wu can put down. He pops his super speed. There's that spell shield. The invulnerability goes off from Brad. Nick Wu can't chase onto the platform of that control point yet because there's that turret going to deal massive amounts of damage, but he's just bullying around the guy who's supposed to deal a lot of damage in the later game.
Yeah, and you can see him, he's going to auto-attack those creeps to get his HP back so he can try to engage one bad Brad again. But We do have a little bit of fighting action going on here at top. He's going to be rushing around. We're going to have Flash versus Flash kind of chasing each other around. Actually, they're kind of, you know, not really engaging quite yet. It looks like they're trying to group up first before they can have this big team fight. We do have CompLexity grouping up is here. We do have Flash backing off just slightly. And Curse Academy is kind of hesitant to push towards them. They're kind of, you know, what should we do? Should we maybe take a, you know, the top left capture point? Should we go top, you know, bottom left? Kind of, you know, just holding, taking their time, really.
Well, we had Niku being able to take out one Bad Brad 1v1. In the meantime, Curse Academy looks to try to be going over there, but Niku, it seems like he's going to want to getting away there. Things go down to where he was, but he is no longer there. So with 2 members distracted in the bottom here, that means that there's only a possibility of 3 to the top, and Brad had just wound up dying. This could be a 3v2 push towards point number 2 for CompLexity, but it looks like for now, they're just content defending and getting that early 3-2 cap advantage.
Yeah, and you can see them trying to push up here. Just pushing back these drones. MIA is going to sit back here. Swingretzky trying to push him in with the flash here on Altec. And he's going to try to shoot out that, you know, plant, trying to knock people up, but it's going to miss ultimately. And he's really got to combo those abilities together with Shazam, and that's how he's going to be able to lock people down. So this is going to be a 2v2. There's not a lot going on, but we do have a lot of action going on bot lane. And there's Battle Ultimate going to fly out from one Bad Brad. Lattimore taking a little bit of damage, but he is going to be able to jump right through that. Niku taking a lot of damage. His spell shield is out, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to land because the lasso from Lattimore stops him from being in pursuit. But there he is. He's going to bat swing right in. There's a hand to the face. There's the ultimate coming out, and ultimately he's going to be dropped down.
There we go. Mortis not quite done yet. He's turning on to Atomic again. Level 6, only level 5. There's the taunt coming out from Wonder Woman, her level 6 ultimate. Niku's going to seal the deal. That actually does want to go into Mortis, and a bunch of kills down there. That was a 3-for-1 in favor of CompLexity.
Yeah, it was actually a really good team fight going out there. Lattimore with that Wonder Woman has just been so effective. Unfortunately, I Will Dominate is going to miss his giant plan there, but we do have a lot of action going on here top as well. Swingretzky going to be taken out by MIA. Altec going to be running right through as a Flash. Now it's going to be a 1v1 top. They do have the turret advantage though, but it looks like Shazam is trying to engage on the Flash here, knocking him down using that punch. There's the shield going to go out, and we do have Probably on the Flash also coming to assist.
Yeah, so all across the map there, kills going back and forth, but the points that matter are those power core energy points. And at the time being, CompLexity jumped out to an early 100 power lead there. The first Meteor Strike is still about 2 minutes away, so that's been Curse Academy's real saving grace here. When that first opens up, they're really good at winning these early engagements around that. Of course, the first couple of Meteors, it'll sap 25, 50, 75, and then eventually the big one saps 100 energy from the enemy power core. And that's when Curse Academy's been really just trying to turn these things around.
Yeah, it really has been. I mean, this is just like, you know, standard play we've been seeing from both teams. CompLexity comes out ahead a little bit, and then Curse Academy makes a comeback, and it makes the game a lot more exciting.
Wonder Woman getting knocked down there by Shazam. Atomic Emdo getting knocked up by Poison Ivy. Swingretzky gets dangerously close to that control point. He's going to take a kiss to the face there. Not the worst kind of thing to say in the world. Oh man, I got kissed by Poison Ivy. What do I do now?
looks like she's gonna have to run away from that though. Not gonna be able to defend that capture point. This is gonna be Curse Academy finally taking the third capture point, and they might be able to lead in the lead, but you do see a little bit of action going on here bottom lane, so that lead we were talking about is ultimately going to go away as Niku and probably make short work of the enemy.
Yeah, so Niku probably, they want to take in another point in the bottom right. Number 3 for CompLexity. Number 1 goes to Curse Academy, but as you can see on the top of the map here, or on the mini-map, 3 points still to 2 from the side of CompLexity, and they're continuously just get this kind of divide over the map. They're not doing that the one idea that they did in the previous day, which was capture a point across to them and then collapse. This one, they're just content dividing the map in half and defending while they have the advantage.
Yeah, we can see probably they're going to get taken down by one by Brad. There's ultimate going on Lattimore. They do have this capture point, so they are going to be taking lots of extra damage from that because this is still quite early into the game. You can see one bad Brad taking tower hit, tower hit, tower hit. Unfortunately, she ran away and they were able to stop the turret from being fully captured, so he didn't get auto attacked any longer.
Oh, that was just one turret attack away. Unfortunately, Lattimore ran away at the last possible second. Gaslight Batman stayed alive and he got that sniper shot down with one more basic attack to take out Wonder Woman. Taking a look at Swingretzky's Gaslight Joker going up against MIA's Shazam. Both these guys not dealing a lot of damage nor taking a lot of damage. It's kind of just an all-out brawl on this top point number 1. The point is slightly in favor of CompLexity, but there's no turret on it quite yet. MIA has to walk away. Swingretzky does super low, baits him with the invulnerability, but so does MIA. Both of them so low that Shazam goes off, and that's going to be a kill for MIA.
Yeah, that was actually really nicely played. fight by both of them. Unfortunately for Swain Gretzky, he was being able to take it out by Shazam. We do have a little bit of action going on here in the little bot thing, but he's actually going to drop down before he can really even make a comment about it.
Oh man, well the rats just wind up eating up Gaslight Joker and running away from that one. At the same time though, it looks like CompLexity this time, they're going to be the first ones to take this middle point. It's probably a lot more to sneak that one away uncontested from Curse Academy.
Yeah, we've usually seen Curse Academy be pretty spot on at taking that middle capture point. They were, usually fine, getting some credits, only having a few capture points, and really, depending on that, orbital turret in the middle, the orbital strike turret in the middle rather, to help them, do comeback because it's gonna drain their power core. But unfortunately for this round teams, they're not doing as hot.
No, not quite. We did see probably a very nice ultimate to avoid some damage. Ooh, and he uses the flash attack to get out of the way of the bat scream. Lodomotis not as fortunate, but he's Wonder Woman, so he doesn't really feel that all too much here. We do have Curse Academy trying to pressure on to point number 1. It's almost gone, so that turret is still available, though, for the side of CompLexity. We have the Blow Kiss going up on the Swain Gretzky. The Root Strike does miss a little bit. The ultimate, the Deadly Flora, goes out there from Chuper. It's not going to save Prowley, but will it save himself? There's a little healing metal going out as well, but Altec is sticking to Chuper like glue. At the same time, the Lodomotis and MIA are chasing down one Bad Brad. The Batarang goes out and starts bouncing. Chuper puts down that Thorn Shield. Altec's going to have to run away, and now one Bad Brad, sad to say, he's been left to die.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can see he was outnumbered, and they're going to be able to pick up that capture point and push back bottom. We do have some action going on here in bot lane. Nick Wu versus Shazam. Round 2 going to go to, actually, Atomic once again, and actually we have Shazam pushing up here to the top. Actually, no, that was the different one. It was the reverse. They both have the same characters, and it was reversed. So now we have the other, Joker coming up, dying actually again.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. When you have all these multiverses, you just lose track of who's going to be wind up being who. When you have Joker and Gaslight Joker and Gaslight Batman and Nightmare Batman, and then it got really confusing in the blended play when people started calling each other Batman. No, I'm Batman, he's Batman. It was extremely confusing, but at the same time, you get that childish rush of excitement that Sundance is talking about. Just seeing, like, I remember watching these guys on TV. I remember reading these comic books, and, well, now they're in an all-out brawl over point number 1 here. Dominate's going to get Shazammed right there, but MIA will wind up going down in return for that one. Wonder Woman picks up a kill there, and at the same time, looks like Niku on the bottom side in a 2v1 situation winds up picking up a kill on Atomic End. So keeps going back and forth. Gaslight Joker kills Shazam. Shazam kills Gaslight Joker on the opposite team.
Yeah, we do have a little bit of, reverse roles going on here. But we're actually going to have people running around here. Probably is going to be trying to find his way to maybe sneak in and get a capture point. He's going to be meeting up with one Bad Brad in the middle here. They are in the urban jungle. Probably he's going to try to do his best. He's going to try to bat swing out of that. And they always going to take too much damage, but actually we have the other flash coming in, knocking up. Probably he's going to be able to do that, popping the invulnerability, picking up the HP. Altec is going to try to dash after him as well as he dashes away, running for his life. Wonder Woman's going to come in here. She's going to shield him, jumping right to him. Altec has to run away. There's a lasso landing directly on him. He's actually going to pick up the speed right there, getting a little bit more damage. The other flash ultimate's going to go out. Dominate trying to help as much as he can. This is going to be a 2 versus 4 actually, and they're just going to be too outnumbered for Curse Academy to do anything.
In CompLexity, they're relying on Prowley and Niku and MIA just to last forever in these fights so the rest of the team can collapse onto those points. One thing they're doing extremely well in this game is not only they're controlling those capture points, which has always been their strength so far in Infinite Crisis, but they've also been getting majority of the kills in these matchups, which is something that Curse Academy was the one that was normally excelling at. They're continuing to draw them to these capture points, just have them run through the middle, like you said, in that waste the urban jungle area, and just completely kind of outmaneuver and outflank them. At this point, it's a 24-12. They're doubling them in kills, and the majority of those are going to be, once again, not only on Prowley, but Niku this time, and Niku's been solo for the majority of the game, too.
Yeah, he's been running around just kind of sitting, in the bot, I guess lane, kind of working towards the bottom capture point. But actually, we do have a team fight breaking out here. It's going to be another one in favor of CompLexity. They just always have the numbers around, and ultimately, this is a team game. You're going to need your teammates. You're going to need your allies. You're going to need something, because if you get outnumbered or you get out, capture pointed, you're just ultimately going to lose this game.
Well, right now, Curse Academy, they have a 3-2 cap, so things will be draining in their favor a little bit. MIA barely living through that bat scream. Well, if he was Joker, he probably would have died there.
Yes, as we saw yesterday, we had bad screens taking out Jokers all over the place. That was ultimately what was going to be finishing them off all the time. We actually have Brawly versus Atomic N here in the middle here, and they're actually going to be jumping back and forth. This is going to be turned into a 2v2. Batman's coming to assist with Shazam. We also have Nick who running in with the Rat Swarm, but he actually is going to be fighting here in a 2 versus 2 situation as well. He's just going to pretty much drop him down instantly. I will dominate at the mercy, being constantly slowed by and eaten by those rats. He's just going to be eaten right up and executed there.
Well, that's Niku getting 2 kills in a 2v1 situation. The remaining members are chasing after Prolly and Chuper. They did want to pick up the kill on Poison Ivy, but look at this. Niku's Gaslight Joker being down in that solo lane is level 17 to Swing Gretzky's level 14. He's got 3 levels on him, which means he has another level of that ultimate, and he's just absolutely obliterating his Red Squad counterpart.
Yeah, if you can actually look at the credit farm here, it looks like he has, you know, around like 4,500 extra credits too from being in that bot lane. So not only does he have level superiority, he's got credit superiority, meaning he has stronger artifacts. He's just overall a better version of Gaslight Joker right now.
Well, we see Kryptonian War Armor picked up for the side of Niku. We'll see if Swain Gretzky has the same thing, and he actually does not. That's going to be giving him 20% increased healing, which means when he regenerates off those auto attacks, when he winds up healing himself from things like Chuper's AoE, it's going to be going down here on this middle point, or even from just picking up those credits. He's healing for 20% more, which is no wonder why he's outlasting him in these engagements.
Yeah, we have Atomic trying to engage in a 1v3 here. Most likely going to be an unfortunate circumstance. I was talking to Ladder Mortis yesterday, and he said, well, you can suicide or you can back. One's a 30-minute spawn, one's a 4-second spawn. So, you know, sometimes it's not the best. Sometimes it's just better to back off in this game and say, hey, you know what, I'm just going to, you know, back out right here. I'm going to go back to the Foundry, going to pick up some artifacts. I'm going to come back stronger, hopefully, and we'll try this again, because right now suiciding is just kind of not a good option ever.
No, well, we have the teleport coming in there, but Atomic N is immediately knocks up. Very nice skill shot there from Chuper. Altec comes in from the side and winds up blindsiding MIA. He's taking a lot of this damage. There are 4 members strong here, trying to get healed up. Probably actually comes in as well. Altec going to wind up taking down Shazam. Altec barely getting out of there with his life, but here comes the rest of the CompLexity cavalry. They're going to wind up taking down Green Lantern. Dominate not going to be happy about that one. Chuper going to wind up popping the invulnerability and his shield on himself. Atomic N winds up going into a very, very bad spot. Tries to pick up a kill on Prolly. Not going to wind up working, though. Prolly winds up popping his own ultimate to stay alive. One bad Brad pops his own invulnerability, but no one for CompLexity wants to die. Chuper doing a good job of keeping them alive. Laudamoris doing a good job of staying alive. And it looks like Laudamoris eventually, is he going to go down to Atomic N? I just don't think he has the damage. He knocks her down. There's another shield coming out. Chuper's just like, I'm going to put a shield on you too, just in case. Probably comes back in from chasing away them on the other side, and he will finish off Shazam. And Laudamoris, I think he has more HP than he started that fight with.
I'm just really impressed on how good they turned in. Like, when we first started watching these guys play, you know, it wasn't the best of play, and now these guys are, you know, kiting, healing, and doing perfect, like, supporting jobs. And, you know, we see Lattimore still surviving with, like, no HP. He's just running around, you know, baiting it, and it just has a great support bruiser combo. We have Dominate running in here, just being picked off. Oh, we do have the Batarang coming around, rather no, Bat Scream flying across the map, trying to pick up some of that destruction points.
Well, if that was a Joker instead of a Poison Ivy, he might have died, but instead he lived with about 1 HP right there. Chuper definitely going to want to go back after that one. Curse Academy, they still are in this 3-2 capture point situation. It's not the best for them, but they're down and not out. Even though CompLexity has this large advantage here, they can capture a point and hold on to it. If they can secure that middle point and take it away from CompLexity when that comes up in a couple more seconds here, it's going to be a triple shot, so that's minus 75. They actually need to control that one. But once they do, that can start turning the game around more in their favor. But what they have to do right now is last till then.
Yeah, and I don't, you know, it's not looking too hot right now because these guys haven't been able to push out of their base. You just look at the credits, they're beating them there. You look at the capture points, they're beating them there. You know, they're really just taking every single thing away from Curse Academy and not letting them have an inch of, you know, leeway.
Well, CompLexity, it looks like they're going to be trying to put the death hold on them by pushing point number 2 here. Both Gaslight Jokers are away in the bottom lane, so we're not going to have that little mix-up over here. MIA is going to wind up going in, knocks down one bad Brad. He gets the bat swing to run away. Probably just going to wind up charging directly into that platform. Dominate's actually away in base. Pots his own ultimate there after grabbing aggro. He's going to wind up picking up a kill on Altex, so Flash takes out Flash. Probably barely going to survive with that shield coming out from Poison Ivy as well as his invulnerability. The plane gets shot from Dominate, but it's the Flash who ends up picking up a kill on one bad Brad's Gaslight Batman. Dominate now feeling the pain here, trying to kite, trying to get away, tries to slam down on Chuper, but Chuper barely feels it. That's another kill for Prowley. One more for Chuper as he takes out Shazam, and icing on the cake, Nick Wu's Gaslight Batman takes out Swing, Gretzky's Gaslight Batman 1v1 bot lane, and it looks like this is going to be CompLexity closing it out 4 capture points to 1.
Yeah, as we talked about, just giving them no leeway, and we actually have Nick Wu trying to initiate on one bad Brad here. Maybe he can get him before the game's going to end. He's just going to try to sit here and take your capture point. He's just going to say, hey, you want to fight me? I got 4 levels on you. I don't really think they're actually going to do very much here.
Well, we see here only about 5 seconds left on Curse Academy's life total. They need to get 3 points in the next 2 seconds, and I don't think that's going to wind up working out for them. So CompLexity going to take another victory here over Curse Academy. They're going to go up 5-1 in this series.
Yep. You can see them, basking in glory right there. Victory once again, brothers.
Well, I mean, you got to take a look at this score screen here because, of course, the MVP award is on the line. And even though Chuper here got only 3 deaths, 7 kills, and 17 assists on the support in Poison Ivy, Prowley here, who's the guy who's kind of in contention with Chuper right now for that #1 spot, 16, 3, and 9 himself as the Flash. Pretty much just 16 kills there. That's a lot.
Yeah. I also want to comment on, that sounds so good, but I want to comment on Nick Wu's score. Look how much he farmed. He has almost, 19,000 credits, and he has 100 drone. Like, no one even comes close. Swayne Gretzky on Gaslight Joker on the other side, kind of close, but still, way off. He just did so much farming bot lane. You just left him alone. He farmed up. He became an unkillable force.
Well, I mean, we had CompLexity just kind of showing that the capture points kind of won the game again. The interesting thing about this is, though, if you look at the control section, 11-11. So they both captured the same amount of points, but it was CompLexity jumping out to that point #1 capture first that technically won them the game, because every time Curse Academy capped a point, so did CompLexity, and they just never lost that 3-2 advantage that they had, and it just wore away at Curse Academy over time. No amount of kills, no amount of contesting that midpoint really could change anything. It was CompLexity's game.
Yeah, again, we've always seen them do just fantastic about that top point. We have to emphasize the top. They call it a 4-1. When we had Chuper up here, it's like, yeah, we call it the 4-1. 1 goes bot, 4 it's rush top. You sit there, you fight over it, and then again, they use Ben space time to teleport back in Latimore's every single time. So that's the reason they always win, is because they basically always have a 4 versus 5 top.
And I think Nick Wu may have found his new favorite character here in Gaslight Joker. He had 100 drones killed. I think that's the first time we've actually seen the 3-digit mark broken. And this game wasn't the longest game we've had go on either.
No,
so
it wasn't.
If you let Nick Wu just run all around, he would have been the richest man in Gotham Heights there. But what we're going to do, guys, we're going to take a quick spotlight break. When we come back, we're going to be talking to CompLexity's Prowley and Chuper, get their thoughts on that game, get their thoughts on the series, and kind of find out who they think is going to win the MVP award, because guess what? Right now, they locked dead even. So, guys, don't go anywhere. We got plenty more action. Of course, we're going to have the blended play where you guys come up with the pros. You're going to get cast by us as well as them. We're going to have a lot of awesome stuff still. It may be the last day here at E3, but it's the best day, so don't go anywhere, guys.